All right, so today we're going to go through an upper body dominant sled dragging series. It's so important to actively recover. Passive recovery is great. We do a lot of very valuable passive techniques in our clinic, but if you're training hard, you're going to have smaller workouts where you do things that are restorative in between so that you're prepared for those more intensive activities. So one of our favorite things to do is sled dragging. The reason for that is it's almost exclusively concentric loading. So when I say concentric, there's different phases to muscle contraction. Concentric is when the muscle actually shortens, and then there's isometric, which is resisting or no change in motion, and then eccentric is when the muscle is actually lengthened against some type of resistance. Eccentric loading really shears the tissue apart. It creates a lot of homeostatic disruption and damage, which is great for skeletal muscle hypertrophy. We have to have that so that the damn muscle grows. But if we are using this as a restoration technique in between intense training sessions, we really want to allow that hypertrophy phase to complete itself. So what we're looking for are activities where we get a nice contraction to break up stiffness, drive a lot of blood flow into the area, but we're not really shearing that tissue apart. Why do we need to actively recover? Our body really has two systems that it exchanges fluids through. So we have our arterial venous system, arteries, veins, that has a central pump. Heart, boom, powerful contraction, drives those fluids throughout the system. Our body removes waste and damaged tissue through lymphatic channels. They do not have a pump. So they require, to really flush the lymphatics, it requires active rhythmic skeletal muscle contraction. So rhythmic activities where we're using concentric loading are the key to recovering. So the sled is a very cheap and effective way to go about that. So this is just a dragging sled. So after a really heavy CNS intensive pressing day, we'll come out and I'll literally just set a timer for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. We will rotate between all of these different positions, either counting reps, we'll pull for 15 in each direction and then change, or really whenever we start to feel a lot of acidity in a certain muscle group, we'll just rotate. That way we're getting some cardiovascular preparedness in, we're challenging the cardiorespiratory system a bit, we're not overly taxing certain muscle groups and creating really acidic environments. So we're flushing blood in. When it starts to burn a little bit, we just change positions. So the first thing that we'll do is just an external rotation pull. So we kind of pull up, and we're imagining that we're trying to squeeze a pen or pencil in between the scapula and rotate. We're rotating in this fashion. This is going to heavily engage the rotator cuff, the external rotators. Again, you're going to get sick of me saying this, but we never want the sled to bully us around. We want to root to the floor, grip the floor, and brace the spine. The spine is stable for most of these. We want as little spinal motion as possible. So again, first thing we're going to do is external rotation pull. Slight variation, we'll actually just do a face pull. So a little less rotation. It's very similar, but we'll pull in towards the eye. So a little more retraction, a little less external rotation. Okay, the sled should be quiet for most of these activities. You know, we don't want to really jerk it. Sometimes we'll do that for more explosive movements, but for our intent today, we want a slow controlled contraction where we're just pulling and the sled should be quiet. Okay, from there, after we've done the face pull and the external rotation, we will do almost a reverse fly, okay? So we're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together and pull the arms apart. Okay, from there, we will actually pull down into extension. So this activates the lat, it activates the tricep. We can do a low roll pulling into the belly button with both hands. Arms are straight, and then we just pull in towards the belly button like this, okay? I prefer to do this as a single arm motion, and this actually becomes an anti-rotation. We're resisting rotation, so we want to root to the floor, anchor the spine, and then pull. Root, anchor, pull. What we don't want to see is the athlete like they're you know, starting a lawnmower almost, where they rotate the whole body. We want to be able to resist that motion, anchor, pull. Brace, pull. From there, we will actually flip around and face the other direction. It might be easier if we come out in front for these. We can start with just an overhead triceps extension, so we'll kind of lean into it and then press. I start with the palms together, and then I rotate so that the palms are facing away. This is a great way to break up stiffness around the elbow and get some additional volume in for the triceps to build up a work capacity and improve that lockout strength. Let's go ahead, and we're running out of space. I'm going to turn the sled around. Again, still facing away, we'll come into a serratus punch. So this is a really great way to activate that serratus anterior. If you have athletes with a winging scapula, where the scapula is flaring off that thoracic wall, we can start to use these type of activities. We were going to scoop towards the ceiling, and we're trying to punch forward. It's this action where the shoulder blade punches forward at the top, okay? So we're going to scoop, lean in and scoop. From there, we can just come into a pressing motion, okay? So the arms start in, and then we punch. Arms start in, and then we punch. We typically won't do dynamic flies with this amount of resistance. Sometimes that'll irritate the pec tendon. So what we really like to do is just an isometric walk, okay? So we'll press, start with the arms out to the side, and we'll just walk to dynamically activate that pec and resist. We're resisting the action where the sled is trying to pull us back. As we get a little more advanced with it, you can actually play with different rotational actions at the arm when you press. So you can start and rotate up, start with the thumbs kind of down, and then rotate into external rotation, or you can start with the palms up and then rotate in. That's a nuance. That's going to be, again, so whether we're pressing from here to here, we're pressing from here to here, or we're pressing from here to here, so down here. That's a subtle little piece if you're more of an advanced athlete. I'm going to show you this at the end. I saved the best for last. You know, you don't want to leave the gym without a pump, so we always just finish with curls. You got to finish with the curls. I kind of start with the palms down, rotate up. You can actually just perform a hammer curl. And we can pull up into just pure flexion. So we can pull with the arm straight as well. So this is typically the upper body dominant sequence. Like I said, use this in between your heavy training days. Break up stiffness, promote blood flow, add additional volume. This is key because you can add volume without beating yourself up.